It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
I need my credit when I'm popping shit. Shift the game like I'm driving stick. Money piling my wallet. Thick numbers looking like scholarships. I'm out there bit. Hurricane season. Send me overseas. Get a bag and I'm leaving. I'm back with the reason. I'm a rapper supreme. Like burritos on a rap for the vegans. Back to attack, make achievements. Nigga fuck a flag for religious. I put on a mask and I'm thieving. All black with a skull cap and Adidas. Insufficient funds. Fit that 150. Nigga get it done. Feeling big as pun. Industry critics don't like me. What you gonna do? Should night me? Swimming upstream so Pisces. Got a Gucci on me so icy. All the floozies. When it comes stand by me, 7-Eleven is getting too dicey. I be killing y'all nigga with the flow. Notorious big, I be kicking in doors. Leviticus niggas get spiritual, call me the bishop. I'm watching y'all decompose. I don't really need no ops, I don't need no props. I'ma sink my shot like swish. I'm a Gambino, looking for a freak hoe, pink flamingo box. Everybody wanna know the recipe. I got my flow on the Chesapeake. I'm a SOB from the A with my style on Texas Pete. Yes indeed.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there on this Thursday afternoon. In this particular show, we're going to be getting into Miss Glorilla and also Miss K. Michelle. All right, both of them are entangled in very similar subject matter today because it seems that the genre mashups are not being well received. All right. Now, if y'all tuned into the BET Awards on Monday night, you would know that Glorilla and Kirk Franklin won the Bobby Jones Gospel / Inspirational Award for 2025. And I believe a gentleman by the name of Deitrick Haddon, he ain't taking too kindly to that shit, okay? He says that gospel needs a complete reset because he feels that the people have lost their way if someone like a Glorilla can come through, mosey her way up in here, and win the gospel award. I believe he also stated something around the like there's other worthy gospel artists that could have been in the category, which I'm not going to disagree with because there's so many gospel artists out there. Sometimes they don't always get the recognition, but at the same time, this isn't the first time that such a thing has happened. All right. I would love to know where Deitrick Haddon was in 2022 when Lil Baby and Kirk Franklin won for a lesser gospel song. You know what I'm saying? Off the Space Jam soundtrack. I wonder if he made a video back then. Okay. We're going to pull up his video in just a moment. But as we get into K. Michelle, she has an interview with, I believe, American Songwriter or something like that, one of them platforms. And the host that was interviewing her, you know, basically was saying that she's new. We're becoming introduced to you here in country music, and being that you didn't grow up in this, you know, tell us about how you made the transition over here. And K. Michelle basically had to give her a refresher course on the fact that she grew up listening to and loving country music, that she grew up creating country music, and was told once she made it into the music industry that she could not create country music because she was black. So she was placed in the R&B category, which she excelled in for many years. But in recent years, she's decided, I want to go back to my roots. So very interesting that both of them are from Memphis and, you know, are in a space where they have to kind of, I'm not going to say that they have to prove themselves, but it seems that some of their crossover music delving in other areas isn't necessarily being accepted by the people already over there. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into both of those in this video. We're going to start with Deitrick Haddon talking about Glorilla. All right. So it says here from the Art of Dialogue, we wonder why gospel music is dying. Gospel singer Deitrick Haddon says the gospel music industry needs a complete reset after the BET Award for Best Gospel / Inspirational Artist was awarded to Glorilla. All right, so here's what he has to say on the matter.
The gospel music industry needs an overhaul, period. After last night's show, it's an indicator that we just need a complete reset. Like what are we doing? Are we allowing this to happen over and over again? and wonder why the gospel music industry is dying? Come on, man. In order to have something different, you have to do something different. So we need people in the room that know gospel music, that's in the trenches of gospel music, that's advocating for the genre as a whole and not one particular person. It's already a small genre. So it's hard for us to watch the Dr. Bobby Jones Gospel Award being given to somebody that's not in our space, right? No disrespect to the artist, but that's not the space she's in. And so it makes it discouraging, disappointing, and it takes the wind out of all of it. And we wonder why gospel music is dying. It's because we're doing things like that. Well, on top of that is, we're tired. Nobody will say this, but I will. Of seeing the same people being celebrated year after year. Like there is nobody else in gospel music. Like no one else is working. You cannot just give it to one person as if they're the ones that's keeping it going. No. We're done with that. Last night was a great win for the ratings for BET. I give certain people awards for ratings, but it was not a win for the gospel music industry. We got to do better. So I propose let's start something where we can come together and have someone advocating for the genre that have no other motive and agenda in the room but to elevate the gospel music genre as a whole. That's what I feel.
All right. Let me take myself out of the corner here. After playing it back, I don't even know if his issue is necessarily with Glow. I don't know if his issue is all the way centered with BET. It seems to me he's got more of a problem with Kirk Franklin and he doesn't want to come out and say it. That's what I think just happened. All right. Because he says the same people keep winning over and over and over. So this is not a 2025. This is not a Glorilla issue. This is her first BET award ever, despite the big records that she's had. So she can't be the one winning over and over. He got a problem with Kirk. And the thing about having a problem with Kirk is if that's your problem, then state that problem, because now it's being confused that you're hating on Glorilla, who all she did was dedicate a song to God on her album, and she went to the people that she knows, that she grew up listening to. If you know Glorilla's story in any capacity, she's said it numerous times in interviews that there was a period in her life where she was not allowed to listen to anything else other than gospel music, and Kirk Franklin was one of those artists that she was permitted to listen to. That was her favorite growing up, until she was permitted to listen to other things, I think when she went off to live with her father. So that's a dream come true for her. You know what I'm saying? Not only is Kirk on there, Maverick City Music was on there, who also have been winning a lot of awards. Kirk Franklin was honored with the Icon Award on the same night from the BET Awards. So I think his problem is really that Kirk Franklin is the primary voice of gospel and he don't like it. And again, I wish he would have just come out and said, yo, why do y'all act like Kirk Franklin is the only voice in gospel? And it still would have been some hateration in the dancery, but I might have got behind you a little bit on that, right? Because if you feel like, yo, it's a lot of artists out here, it's a lot of choirs out here, it's a lot of people out here that are dedicating their life to this and not being recognized for it, I might get behind you a little bit. Only problem with that is you're supposed to be glorifying the Lord. Okay? And this is something that permeates deeply into the gospel music game as a whole. It ain't my place to speak on it necessarily because I don't partake. I'm not in the church creating music with the choir. But if you know, you know, right? Sometimes the musicians that are in these groups and these choirs, they're not even really Christian. Some of them ain't even dedicated to the cloth. They just in the choir. They just in the band. You know what I'm saying? They come to the they come and get their spot with the rest of the group, still hung over from the last night, doing freak offs. But ain't nobody worried about that. Long as you come play your position in this motherfucking choir, hit your notes, we gonna be all good. But again, ain't my place to speak on it all that deeply. You know what I mean? It's a lot of politics in the gospel game just as much as it is in the traditional music industry. Who do you think is profiting off of those albums? Who do you think these people are signed to? They're signed to Christian labels that are treating these artists and groups the same way that the mainstream music industry labels are treating these other artists. But they don't have a voice to even complain, because who's going to listen to they not paying us over here in the church? They gonna say, well, don't go to another one. So Mr. Deitrick, I would ask, yes, everybody wants to be recognized for their work, right? And I feel like you must feel like Kirk Franklin got a issue with you. You know what I'm saying? Because Kirk used to do, there used to be a whole award show for gospel on BET. Kirk Franklin was involved. They used to have them talent search programs for who was going to be next up in gospel. Kirk Franklin was a part of that. So maybe he ain't look out for you the way that you expected or would have liked him to, and you've been carrying this burden. I would tell you to talk to Jesus about it, right? Because coming out and spewing jealousy towards somebody else in your community, I don't think that's a good look. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be about glorifying the Lord. That's why you even use your voice in that genre, in that space. It's all about glorifying the Lord. If you're not doing that, then why are you doing it? Why are you singing those hymnals? Why are you know what I mean? So it's a bad look. Now, I know there's going to be some people out there that agree with him, and that's fine. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But don't be mad at Glow for working with Kirk and getting an award. Not to mention, this has been his formula for 30 years. I'd imagine a lot of people weren't all that thrilled when he collaborated with Salt and Pepper. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. Why is he? But that's been Kirk Franklin. Last decade, if you heard anything that was coming from Kanye that was gospel related, Kirk Franklin may not have been on the songs, but he was in the room, in the conversations. Kanye may not have stuck to the path. He may not have stuck to that sound. Kirk Franklin was involved. Lecrae was in them conversations. Lecrae was involved. He might not have ended up on them songs, but he was, you know what I'm saying? So take it up with y'all folks, man. Because if it's all about spreading the word, then you have to go out into the wilderness. You got to go out into the real world. You can't just stay inside the church. You can't just stay inside this group that's supposed to be saved, preaching the same sermons that y'all been hearing your whole life. It's about going to spread the word, to find new people to bring into the community, to save others, save their lives, save their souls. But, don't get me started. You know what I mean? I done been through it. Some of y'all know a little bit of my story. I've talked about it before. There was a time period in my life I was in the thick of it. You know what I mean? And being that I was coming from doing secular music, I was trying to get into the Christian hip hop field, and I wasn't embraced. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple, little websites or whatever that played my music, but overall I wasn't embraced. One of my homies that was deeper into the space, people were asking him why he was associating himself with me. You know what I mean? Like I was some type of murderer. You know what I mean? Like I just had blood all over my hands. So when I look at this stuff, and it's like y'all still have not learned. Anyway, we're gonna continue on with the show. Let's get to Miss K Michelle having to set the record straight about her country roots.
So, talk just for a second about your relationship with country music, because I feel like we just kind of got you. You haven't, you didn't grow up here in country music. So, kind of tell people, kind of introduce yourself to them, and then tell them how you arrived in Nashville. What brought you here?
Yes, I did grow up in country music. You do this all the time. I did grow up in country music. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I got a scholarship for yodeling. That's how I paid for college. My start to you, to be seen to you, has been when the Judds people themselves reached out to me to go and pay Naomi Judd tribute. That was the first tape I ever got, and that was Love Can Build a Bridge. And it's always been a thing for me. I was told I could not sing country music because I was black, but it was something I had always been doing and will continue to do. I'm born and raised in Tennessee. I didn't fly here. I grew here.
You grew here?
Yeah, I grew here in Tennessee. And I am so happy to be able to sing the songs of who I am and what it is I want to. So I'm happy that people like you are just discovering me, though. And I'm happy to be here for that. So happy that you have.
We're not just discovering you. We just haven't heard you on contemporary country radio yet, right?
Well, you don't hear a lot of women on contemporary radio, period, right now.
That's
okay?
right.
And you really don't hear a black one.
But you're
you
about
will.
to, right?
You're about to. Yes, you will.
So tell us about the music that you're working on.
The music is absolutely amazing. I was told by my label head that I have the most country album in Nashville, period, right now.
All right, that's K Michelle. You talking about short and sweet? Goddamn, that was like a minute and a half of just straight. Let me clear the air on you motherfuckers real quick. What's my motherfucking name? Allow me to reintroduce myself. Like, the hell you mean I ain't grow up in this shit? I grew up playing this shit, grew up singing this shit. She said I got my degree in yodeling. That's how I pay for my bills throughout life. To get this voice here. Excuse me? The microaggressions, man. People be talking that shit. Don't be thinking that we catching on that you talking that shit. The hell you mean I just got here? I just came here full time. I always been in it, but y'all wasn't so embracing of my presence. It took for certain people to put their arm around me before y'all said, okay, you could come over here, right? K Michelle says she went up there and spent years going through the ranks, performing at the Grand Ole Opry, doing this and that. You know, they had to make sure that she was fully ingratiated into the space before they embraced her. They wanted to see how dedicated she was, and she kept going back. Even though she was facing racism and microaggressions and people second-guessing her abilities along the way, she continued to go back. A lot of people would not have and would have just said, fuck that shit. I'm just going to go and make me a goddamn country album. Get me with some songwriters. Get me, you know what I'm saying? I could find some motherfuckers to go play this shit and go put this motherfucker out. But she actually went into the belly of the beast in Nashville, where a lot of motherfuckers have been turned away for the exact same reasons, and said, nah, y'all not finna do it to me. I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think I would have done that, motherfucker. I'd have made the album that I wanted to make and said, fuck y'all, suck my dough. Like Beyonce did. You know what I mean? Because how the hell you gonna tell me what music I can make when I'm paying for the studio, when I'm paying for the production, when I'm, you know what I mean? And then it's all said and done. You say, well, because you didn't come over here and perform at this venue and this venue, you're not officially that. Well, when the fuck we gonna start doing that for hip hop? You know what I mean? When we gonna start making motherfuckers go through a 3-year build up of documentation of, you got to go perform at the local clubs, document it. You got to go through the underground. You got to perform in front of 10 people in this spot and see if you really love this shit. When we gonna put motherfuckers through that? Because I've been seeing a lot of motherfuckers in recent years, hell, for the last decade or so specifically, coming into hip hop, and they first ever performance on stage in life is when they already got a record deal and a song buzzing in the streets. Then we wonder why these niggas don't know how to fucking perform. These niggas don't know how to handle themselves in front of a crowd. These niggas don't know how to fucking conduct an interview because they ain't never been asked about their craft. Somehow they just got discovered. So when are we going, you know what I mean? Since everybody else could do it, everybody else could be up in arms when we do some shit. When we gonna start goddamn putting the stop sign up for a motherfucker? Yield, nigga. What are your intentions over here? You know what I mean? Since we just inviting everybody to the motherfucking cookout, how about we start asking motherfuckers shit like that? You just got here. I mean, we're not just discovering you, but it's the first time we've heard you on the radio over here. So how'd you get here? Why you want to be here? Start treating shit like a job interview out there, bitch. You know I'm here for the money, bitch. What made you interested in our company? The money? And I'm really worth more than what y'all motherfuckers offering. Tell me what I want to be here for. Oh, man. But let me know what y'all think of all this shit down below in the comments. Let me know what y'all think of Glorilla winning in that, best gospel introspective category. I think it was a good song. I think it was a cool record. I think overall, if you put Glow, I don't think she's intending to like take over your genre. Excuse me. I don't think she's trying to infiltrate nothing. She did a song with somebody that she loved growing up. Probably a song that her family gets to be extremely proud of rather than some of the other music that she's put out in her career. You could feel a way about it, but y'all are going to be making gospel forever. You're going to have multiple chances to win again. She's probably not going to make too many more records to impede on your space. Let me know what y'all think of the interview with K. Michelle regarding her country roots and all of that stuff. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. And once again, be sure to vote for me in the Global Citizen contest to perform. After today, we will finally be dwindling it down to the top 15. I'm still currently in first place, so thank y'all that have voted for me. You get one free daily vote, all right? And we're going to be moving forward, and it's going to continue, so I'll keep y'all updated on the happenings with that. I'll catch y'all in a minute. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. First I'm out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.